All right, hello friends, welcome to Code It Live. I am your host, Ed Charbonneau, and I am waiting for my co-host and partner in crime, Alyssa, to join me on the channel. She's currently in another show right now. She'll be wrapping up in just a second. But today, we're going to jump into Facebook Horizon again. So let's talk a little bit about that real quick and what it is, where you can find out more about Facebook Horizon. Just a little disclaimer, I am not part of the Facebook Horizon team, nor am I part of Facebook. I'm just a fan of the tools. So I'm enjoying my Oculus Quest, and Horizon is a new platform by Facebook for the Oculus Quest. And what I really like about it is the creative tools, and you'll see some of those here in a few minutes. We'll jump into the headset and check out some of the creativity tools that are embedded in the platform. I think they're pretty unique, and that's why we're making a show about it. So it's been a lot of fun. We're going to make a game on the show for the Facebook Horizon platform. And today we'll be building up some assets for kind of like a shooter type of a weapon, where we still haven't quite planned it all out yet. That's what's fun about the shows. We're doing this all live. But we plan on building out some sort of like a crossbow that shoots out throwing stars. And we're going to kind of bring our brand in with our ninjas and kondokas from our Telleric Progress brand of tools that we have. So we're going to make a fun game with our branding that I think everybody will kind of get a kick out of, and the process is really what's interesting. So without delaying this too much further, Alyssa should be here in about 10 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and try to get the good old Oculus headset up and running. So you'll see me move around some screen shares here for a minute, and we'll go ahead and share my device. So this is a nice empty black box until I put on my headset. So let's go ahead and throw the headset on. This is the original Oculus Quest 1, in case you're wondering. The Oculus Quest 2 is out. It's all the new hotness. It's like 24, 25% of like all Steam sales right now, which I don't think was their intent, but it's definitely a nice side effect of the Oculus 2. Um, wouldn't mind getting a hold of one of those soon, just to check out the new optics on that thing. The ones on the Quest 1 are quite good, but I heard the optics on the Quest 2 are even better. A little bit less of that screen door effect with the new optics. So let's see if we can get this up and running. You will hear my voice go away for a moment while I change out my microphones as well. I try to use the onboard mic from the headset while I'm streaming, because when I turn away from my cardioid mic on my desktop, you kind of hear my voice fade away. So give me a moment while I readjust. One day these things will be less awkward, I promise. I can't wait to see how the technology advances in the near future. The devices, I'm sure, will get smaller and a little bit easier to work with on a stream. A little less strange to use in an environment like this. It's always kind of the weirdness of the internet. So that it looks like my mic might be a little hot, so we'll bring that down a little bit. Let me know if the mic levels are good. I think we're pretty good here, and you should be able to see my screen now. And actually, I can tell that you can. So I'm in the Oculus, or sorry, I'm in Horizon now, and I'll be able to see your questions through remote desktop. So go ahead and feel free to post questions in the chat. I'll try to answer those the best I can. Again, I don't work for Oculus or for Facebook Horizon, but I've been using it for a little bit, and I've done some game dev in the past. So I do know some things. I'm not an expert on all the things, though. First thing we need to do is jump into, let's jump into a new world today. We do have let's jump into our world we built last week, and we'll talk a little bit about it before we jump into a new one and explain why we're going to a new world. So while that loads up, I'll check our chat here, see if anybody's got any questions. Again, we're going to be building a game over the course of several weeks here. And one of the game assets that we started working on last week is completely gone. Is that true? Did our game get wiped by something? And let's take a look here. So I've got something attached to my trigger and I can't use it. Sorry, just adjusting some equipment here. There we go. Yeah, so oh no, here's our level. I thought our level got wiped out. A little scary for a moment there. That has happened to me just one time in the tools here, but I was able to recover the files. So we've got kind of a small village that we're building. We'll go ahead and enable on here the grid so we can see where that village should live. There we go. Now we can spawn. So we're gonna have kind of this this Asian theme that will run through the level. We're gonna have kind of like a bamboo forest up here, and we'll be able to do kind of a donut level, and we'll expand upon this as we build out the game. The idea is to have like the ye old shooting gallery that you might see at like a boardwalk or a amusement park venue, something like that. But we're going to update that for the VR world, so it'll be a little bit more interactive, not so stationary as you see with those old school carnival games. So we're going to kind of upgrade that idea a bit. So this is just kind of the layout of the world that we're building. So we're going to need to add some assets in here, weapons and such, and enemies and things that we can use for scoring. And when Alyssa comes on, we'll start building all that stuff out. We'll probably do this in another world and then import it into this one. Reason being is it's a little bit easier to get your assets kind of set up in different worlds and then import them in. I've done this in some of the other levels that I've made. Another thing that we could do instead of creating another world is we could zoom out and just create like a platform off to the side and build there. So let's go ahead and try that out first. If things get a little bit too complex, we'll just move this out to another level and import it in later. My controller grips are really causing issues today. Sorry about that. So we'll create another platform here, and we'll use a simple block to get started with this platform, and then we'll kind of label things out to what we're going to use it for. I'm going to press the magnetic button on here. That's going to give me a grid to snap this to, so the level or the ground will be nice and level. And we'll just kind of put this off to the side, kind of out of the view of our main level here. And let's see if we can get this aligned to the grid properly. And then we can jump down and spawn on top of it. And this will give us a place to kind of build out the launcher that we're going to build today. And then let's give this a little bit of color, just so it's not so stark white. And let's see here. Let's throw a little grass color on it, just so it's not too boring here. And let's see, we want to label this too. So we'll bring in some gizmos here. We'll put a label on this. I like to try to keep things organized as I can when I code and when I build levels. And these little text blocks actually do some pretty good organization. So what you can do is grab a text widget here, and this is going to be our launcher assets. And typing in here is a little cumbersome. If you've ever spent time in VR, typing is kind of the bane of its existence right now. There's no real good way to do typing in VR. There's like a feature for the Quest that lets you use your phone to type. The problem with the phone is there's not a lot of tactile feedback on a phone, so you don't have keys on a phone. So trying to hold a device in VR that you can't physically see and type on it isn't much better than just trying to like pound away at virtual keys using your VR nubs here. So this is well off the beaten path for our main level, which is up over there. So we can come in here and build out kind of maybe a little shooting range or something, just to get this all built out. So I've got this kind of labeled. I'm being a bit of a stickler here. I want to get this down where it looks like it's kind of on the surface. I don't want to be able to see it while I'm walking. Yeah, there we go. Now it's under my feet. That's much better. Let's see. We have no Alyssa yet. She's not here yet, but we do have an audience. That is wonderful. It's great to see you all. Thanks for joining me today. Again, if you're just joining the show, we're going to build a launcher for our game. Our game levels over here. Our launcher space for kind of prototyping is going to be over here. Let's go ahead and build some assets for this. Actually, let's do this. Let's do this instead. We're going to build it here, but before we do that, let's take a jump over to a new world to see how some of these things are built. Let's go to create world. There's actually some really good demo assets in the create options here in the Horizon tooling. So if we go over to this PvP scripting environment, we can see some of what we need to build in our game. So let's go ahead and create that. And while that builds up, I'm going to jump over to my desktop, which you can't see, and we'll monitor chat here. Nobody's got any questions yet. That's all great. This world is creating, and it looks like it's ready, actually. And what's nice is these give us scripts that we can kind of get ideas from, learn from, and again, using our tools. So I'm going to jump over to that new world that I just created. Maybe Alyssa can join me and we can play in here in just a little bit. I'm going to add her so she can jump in, and hopefully she has her VR headset with her after she's done with her other show that she's working on. She'll be able to join me in here. If you want to work with somebody in Horizon, you can go to collaboration requests and you can jump into worlds that other people have invited you to. If you want to add someone, you can go into options here and you can say manage collaborators. And then I can come in and I can find my friend Alyssa and I can add her to this world. Now, when she joins, she will see the UI in the user interface here under collaboration requests. She can answer that and jump into this level with me. So this is kind of the idea of what we want to build. Not this whole player versus player thing, but this this weapon here. So if I hold down my trigger on my Oculus controller, I can shoot, and you'll see the bow pull back, and I could shoot the arrows here. So this is almost identical to what we want, and we'll try to build this so we can customize the speed at which this thing shoots and some of the variables that we use here. So we want to also make sure when we grab this thing that it kind of orients itself. This one doesn't seem to do it. I've seen some tutorials on how we might be able to do that. Let's see how they built theirs, first of all. So what we do need is we do need assets to actually shoot. So we do need a projectile. And then we need something to shoot it from. If we look at this, there are, it looks like we've got an invisible object here. So we have a group of 7 objects. These groups we showed off on last week's show. So if you go to our YouTube channel, you can see detailed information about groups and how to look at groups. And you can jump into a set of grouped objects like this by pressing this button. And once we're in that group of objects, we can individually select them and kind of analyze what's in here. So let's see what this is. This is one of the arrows, it looks like, that we also have down here on the ground. Now, I'm not sure if this is the exact same instance of that arrow, but it is another group of objects that we can jump into and see how those are built. Let's see what kind of attributes are on here. These are collidable. It is visible, so it's pulling this arrow from somewhere and setting it on top here. Let's see what else we have. So there's no scripts or anything attached to that group. So it is indeed just an arrow. Now, it is likely that this is attached to a script somewhere. Let's see. I don't have a reference attachment either. So that really makes me wonder how that is involved in this gun. This is the first time I've ever jumped into this section here. So it's actually not part of this group as a whole here, or is it? Looks like it is. We should have some scripts here as well. So we've got a respawn trigger script, and then let's see, projectile launcher. So we've got some organization in this level as well. So our projectile launcher script is right here, and we've got this is the text for that script. The script attached is called projectile launcher. It has an origin. We're able to set the speed. It has a final and a min speed. The scale, I'm not sure what all of these are used for. We'll have to take a look at the actual script and see what each one of those things does. This is a pretty complex example of what we're going to need to build. I'm not sure we need everything that's in here. We can probably simplify this for our purposes. It's a good place to start and check these things out, though. We have a firing controller as well. Let's see if that has anything to do with our gun there. So this looks like it controls all of the weapons in this game. It respawns them and that sort of thing. So that is kind of like a you could call it a manager. They called it a controller. It's kind of a pattern that you can follow, that there's one kind of brain that controls many of the objects in the game. So it looks like this one controls several of these items here. We've got a projectile object here. Let's see what the script has in it. We'll zoom in here, and this is the one I think I was looking for. This should be attached to our individual projectiles down there. So this is working with the speed of the projectile, whether it's hitting a target and that sort of thing, whether it's fired or disabled, or it's having collision with something. So what I'd expect to see is that script attached to one of these projectile items. Let's see if we can find one that's got this script on it. There we go. So it's odd, the one on the bow doesn't seem to have any script attached to it. This one does. So here's that projectile script, and this has some variables assigned to it. So we can control the projectile, and some of these look like they're manual input, so we can change on the fly some of the behavior of that in our game. So this is essentially what we want to build. We want to have some sort of crossbow and a bullet to fire from it. So let's jump back to our level. Let's see if we can figure this out from scratch, and we'll see what we can build. So I'm going to jump back over. I'm going to be in the world to jump over, and we'll load our level back up. The good old ninja shooting gallery, or gallery shooter, rather. It will be something someday, I promise. We'll get there. We'll get there. These things actually take a lot longer to build than they may appear. You get into something like this, and you're like, it's going to be super easy, and then you get halfway down the road, and you're like, this is a lot harder than I thought. But once you're done, you'll be super amazed with what you're able to build, and really happy with the results. So again, we've got our layout here for our game. Over here is going to be our launcher area to set up our stuff. Let's go ahead and build out some assets. So let's see. We want to have, we have some nice references that, this is getting stuck here. This is not trying to put squares down here. we should probably start with something really basic just to represent that we have something we can grab onto. I'm going to grab a cube here. We'll bring this down a little bit further. This is a huge cube, I feel like this is going to be a gigantic cube. So in order to square up with the size of the launcher, what I'm going to do is bring in some gizmos here, and we'll grab a spawn point. This is a tip I've dropped on the show a few times. If you grab a spawn point, this gives you a reference as to how big the player model is. So if you're building something like a weapon or an enemy or anything for that matter, what you can do is resize that against your spawn, and then you can tell how big that will be in game. So this will be super helpful. We'll start with some white cubes, and then we'll work on designing something a little more elaborate at a later time. So let's see. Let's give this a pedestal too to sit on. So if we drop it, because we're going to make this interactable or interactive, and what we don't want to do is every time we drop it to have to lean down and pick it up. There are ways to teleport these things back to your hand as well, but we're not going to get there right out of the gates. So let's go ahead and grab another shape, and we'll just drop a simple cylinder down here. Let's grab that cylinder and plop it in, and let's go ahead and bring that up to the height of that arm there. So we'll stretch this guy out, and we probably need to make that a little bit wider. It keeps trying to grab the player model here. What I'm going to do is lock down that player model. So I can grab with my right hand and press lock. You can see that there. We'll go ahead and lock that player model in place. And let's see if I got that locked down, so I don't inadvertently grab the player model. There we go. That'll make it a little bit easier, so I can't accidentally select that now. So I accidentally unlocked it. There we go. So now it won't accidentally select, and I can grow this properly out. Let's make this look a little nicer. I know it's a temporary asset. It doesn't have to look terrible. Let's bring this up. And I just made a quick copy of it with my copy tool. And we'll bring the bottom up, and it looks like I have them both selected. Make sure I get the copy. We'll bring this guy up. There we go. Bring it up, lock it back down on top of this, and then grow it out like so. Try to line that back up at the middle, and kind of squish that flat. So we have like a tabletop now. There we are. Now if I spawn, I have a table that I can set my weapon to be on. And I think that noise means Alyssa has joined.
I'm so sorry.
Alyssa's here. Yes.
Hello, beautiful Ed and chat and everybody. I was on C# Fritz's channel on Throwback Thursday, and we were talking about ASP.NET migrations to Angular, and it was a whole thing, and it ran over, and I'm so sorry for being this late. But
it is not your fault, so welcome to the show. It's great to have you here. So I haven't done much, except...
Can you tell me where we are? What are we looking at? It's very beautiful.
This is the outside edge of our level here. I opted to kind of build another platform to build our launcher tool on,
nice.
And our main level's up here. So this still needs a lot of work, but it is here. We'll get to that at some point. But you know, in order to have fun in our level to be, we need to have some sort of weapon to run around and shoot with. So I've got a table set up that will hold our weapon temporarily, so we don't have to keep hunting.
You built a table to hold the gun.
And let's see, let's just throw a little color on that asset there, just so we have a place to locate.
You're so extra, Ed. Like, you're just so
I know.
extra.
I haven't labeled the table. I labeled the launcher platform. I didn't label the table, so I'm not that extra. So, well, we've got our player model here to kind of size up what that will size of that will be.
That's always so smart. That way you don't like go and pick up the gun and it's like twice as big as a human. Like that. Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's just a block right now. I can't grab it or pick it up or any of that stuff. But since you're here, let's jump over. I showed this to the chat room just a minute ago. This is a getting started template, and I added you to it if you want to jump in at some time. You could do it now if you want. If you're
it's called PV
headset.
Nice.
Yeah,
I can go and grab it, but do you want to show me around in headset, or do you want to show me via this?
I'll go over there, and then you decide if you want to jump in. If it looks like something exciting enough to try out, you can go grab your headset.
So what is this land that you have created?
This is not an empty project, but like a template project that is in the tools. So anybody can build this just by clicking Create New. So there's a PvP template, and it has the basics of a shooter. I think I may have broken it though. I was playing with.
Did you wait?
I think I changed the spawn point. Here, let's try the green one. I didn't break the green one yet. There we go. So this is a like a Nerf dart that we can shoot around.
So did you talk about kind of where we wanted to go as far as what we'll be shooting?
Yeah, I mentioned that we're gonna do like a ninja star thing. We need to pull up the little like image that we got for that, because I can't remember what it looks like. But we need to essentially build what we're seeing here. And I don't know what I grouped or ungrouped or touched, but I broke one of these weapons already, so I'm already making a mess of things.
I'm sorry. Are you going to show the code? Is that too sneak peeky? Is that what you're doing?
I was looking at it. I think it's a little overly complex for what we're going to do. It's very...
Really? You think we can make it simpler?
For our game, possibly. This one had quite a bit of stuff attached to it. So there's a projectile script. There is a firing controller that controls all 4 of the guns here. And then there's the projectile launcher. I think this is what we're going to end up building here. This one controls the individual launcher.
Can you just stare at the code for a minute? I want to see. So what does it say?
Sure.
It says.
So
this is on that thing that you were just holding.
So it has a sound effect, a projectile, a player script. I don't know what that is. That's probably something to do with when you shoot each other, maybe, or who's holding it.
Oh, you don't think it's in regards to when the player pulls the trigger, it interacts with the gun? Like, you don't think that?
I'm not sure.
That's what I'm curious is how you link up actions on the paddles or the controllers to.
Okay, so you have Let's scroll up from the beginning on this here. We've got when world start or when event set projectile is received. So this is assigning a projectile to it. So the firing controller probably does something with that. Something creates the set projectile event on the object here and assigns a projectile to it. Let's see, we've got set player script. So I'm imagining there's something that says when I grab that, it assigns my player to it, or whatever the player script is. We'll have to see how those things are wired up. There is a fire event, and that has a 1 second delay, I guess, so we can't fire more than once per second. And when we fire, it moves position origin on. So it brings in the sound effects to be played on the location we're standing at. It plays the fire sound effect. It sets the final speed. I don't know what's happening here exactly. That might be to maybe have it setting on the firing mechanism and not actually like flying through the air yet.
Hey, we just
And
got
then,
rated. Welcome,
all
Raiders.
right.
I just saw most of you on C Sharp's channel, and some of you, actually one of you, won an Oculus, and the other one won a Nintendo Switch. Congrats again to our winners. I may have told the person who won the Oculus that you might be able to come up with a beta code to Horizon. So, but welcome, Raiders. It's so good to see you. This is Ed Charbonneau, my cohort in crime, and he is teaching me all things about gaming game programming. So right now we're walking through in Horizon, a pre-built world, and we're just checking out the code that is on a, like, what do you call this, crossbow launcher? Because we want to build out our own type of weapon, and yes, these are the launchers. So Dee Dee wants to know, when did Ed become a cyborg? I didn't know that you didn't know, Dee Dee. Ed isn't a real human. He's a robot.
That's how I get stuff done.
He's the Ed bot. But yes, welcome, Raiders. Thank you for joining us. So yes, we were looking at this. So even things like that, where you move the position of the sound effect when you fire the weapon, like, would have never thought of that.
Well,
like the sound would be like off in space or something, and I'd be like, yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, so what you have to do is when you're firing it, the sound should be coming out of the gun, and the gun is always moving. So what you want to do is take the sound and move it to the gun's location, so it actually sounds like it's coming from the gun. And I do that with special effects often too. So if you want something to like explode, like you bring the little explosion thing to that point. And then this is what I think we're going to need the most here. So this launch from origin and the speed on projectile, this actually fires the projectile. So this action launch from is a built-in game thing that we can use, which I think is kind of cool because you can spawn things from other places other than the object you're holding. So you can imagine, we have this, and we're shooting something from the tip of it here, but we could also have maybe like a cannon that you're holding that you could fire stuff from, or you press a button and things fall from the sky even. So the origin is not a set thing. It's a variable that we can play around with. So this I think is the gist of kind of what we want. I think there might be a lot more going on in this one because it's like a multiplayer setting. So I don't know if ours will. I mean, ours will be multiplayer, but it's like a
in the sky. Like, I feel so robbed. They've done so much of what I wanted to do.
Yeah, this is a very complex example. So you stand here and ready up, and then you teleport into the game, and you can battle it out with each other. So if you want to join sometime and test this out, we can do a little PvP action there.
No, absolutely. Oh, there's some chat for you. Mighty Quinn VR Realm said, hey. And
hey.
Janice Q, I'm totally butchering that. I apologize. 7.
I recognize some of these folks from Horizon and some of the meetup nights that we've had.
Nice. What night is that again? Because now that I'm moved, I want to make it.
Yeah, so let's see here. Let me jump to my desktop again for a second.
But Janice Q said when the Blazor Power Glove was invented.
So I'm going to pull this off screen for just a sec, and I'll share the links for people that if you have a quest and you want to sign up, you can go to the Facebook Horizon page. Let's see if we can get this on screen.
Oh my God, are you controlling your desktop right now with your Oculus?
I am. Us PC users, we're cool like
I know. I'm a Mac user, and he has so much more control over things like this, and I just want to throw something at him right now. Pretend you're being pelted with little Cheerios, Ed. That's what's happening.
So it's it is in well, you could put your Oculus on and battle me out with crossbows later.
Okay, I will. I'm gonna go dig it out real quick. You stay here, and
I'll
if
tell
I come
folks
back
where to sign
it,
up.
Okay, yes.
So
you
this
show
is
them
closed
that.
beta. This is a closed beta right now, invite only, but you can sign up. We have like 2 invites, I think, to give away at some point here. We keep teasing for that. But if you have an Oculus and you want to jump in here, I suggest signing up. It's just like a little email form that pops up, and it will email you with a code when a place opens for the beta. And I haven't seen any release dates for when this is going to go live, but the creation tools in this, which you're seeing me and Alyssa work with right now, are pretty amazing because we can like pair program and code together, and it looks just like the photo here on screen. So we can jump in and actually see each other and write code together and drag and drop code blocks into the environment in real time. And if you're used to, if you're rating from a channel that's doing like VS Code and Visual Studio, you probably are familiar with something called live share. So this is like live share in VR, coding in VR. So it's pretty bonkers. And it is a lot of fun. So we've been having a good old time with this on stream, and it's pretty cool. And then Mighty Quinn, I think we've chatted in Horizon before. So if you're checking this stuff out, Quinn's got some cool levels in or worlds built into Horizon.
Oh, that's awesome! That like you can play through.
It is a little clunky to get these virtual desktops going, but it is neat.
Oh, and we lost Ed. I love it. I love it. There's always some hiccups when you're jumping between VR and desktop, though. So I know he'll be back very shortly. Actually, he might still be talking to us and not know that he's not on stream anymore. So it's actually really funny to see how long you can get Ed to keep going before he realizes there's no one there. I have my husband digging my Oculus out of boxes. We just moved from Kansas City to Oklahoma, and so it was a long move. So this is what we're dealing with here. So I am working on it, and I do love you all. And Ed is back. Let me add him in. Hi.
I hit the wrong button. I was trying to switch screens, and I accidentally closed the tab instead. So there's some of the downfalls of using virtual desktop, as I mentioned.
How long did it take
it's a little
you
clunky.
to? How long did it take you to realize we weren't there anymore? Was it instantly or what?
It was pretty instant. Yeah, I knew I had done something wrong. I couldn't hear you anymore for one. But yeah, I think I might have clicked with one of my other arms here and got the wrong screen. But let's see. Let's hide this, and we'll. Okay, so you're gonna join. You need to accept the invite that I sent to you. So I don't know if you remember how to do that.
One moment, darling. Oh,
so if you pull up your menu and look at collaboration requests, you should see an invite.
Okay.
And then once you accept, you should be able to jump in, and we'll see each other in game.
And you'll all see how very bad I am. Like, I love PvP, right? Like, I started with Halo back in the day on the Xbox. I've now moved on to Bungie. So I love it. But for some reason, PvP in VR is like 1,000 times harder. I just never really is. Ed's over here like throwing this boomerang at targets, and I like it just goes straight up. I don't know.
I've had some practice. I've had practice. So I have Half-Life Alyx and a bunch of other really cool games that I enjoy in VR. So I've been at this for a bit. I haven't seen you pop in yet. Where is she, folks? Where is Alyssa? I can see you in the real world.
To this mic so that I don't smack my other one.
Gotcha.
But you should be able to hear me. Yes, maybe.
I can hear you fine.
Awesome. Okay.
When you're in game, mute your in game though, because I'll
mute
have
my in game. I remember how to do that. 1 second.
Yeah, right. It is on your handy dandy wristwatch.
Okay, so I am in game and I'm going to try and find. That's not the right button. The world. We're going into PvP?
Yeah. Yeah, so you should be able to just join me. You should see me on there. If you accepted the collaboration, you should be able to just tap join once you have that and join me. I wonder if I need to do anything else here. I might.
Preparing your travel to PvP. Okay.
Yeah, let's see if that does a trick. So, let's see.
It's my going into the PvP VR world dance.
I'm gonna. Oh, I see you. I see
you.
Alyssa's here. Me. Boom! Gotcha.
Of course, I knew you'd cheat. I want a gun. I want a purple one. Give me the. I don't remember how to do this. Oh, right.
There you
go. I have the gun. My gun
Boink.
is not loaded. You gave me a defective weapon.
You have to pull the trigger. Oops. There you go.
Oh my god. Okay, hang on. Let me figure out how to turn so that I'm facing the camera and facing you. There we go. Hey, what's the score? There's no score. Make it work, Ed.
We need to come over here. Come into the ready zone.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. Am I in it?
Yeah.
This
will bring up the barrier that's keeping us out.
Okay.
And then
what happens now?
Spawn.
I don't understand. This is exactly what I want us to build. This is
no camping. No camping. Oh, I got you.
Whoa! Why did I don't understand what happened.
Why
am I up here? Oh, you got me? Absolutely.
Okay,
first of all, camping, I was just graciously giving you time to come and kill me, apparently.
Oops. Oh, shoot. I just went into edit mode. Wrong button.
Cheating. Yeah, because I was coming for you.
We are in edit mode, so this makes it a little more awkward.
Can I shoot
we wouldn't
you
normally
from down
have
here?
this ability, so I just spawned behind you. Haha. Oh, I gotcha. I cheated.
This is so unfair.
I cheated. I went into edit mode.
This is so I mean, okay, but what do you think about this spawning platform? Tell me your thoughts about the spawning platform.
So,
do you, because I get it, okay, well, actually, it's kind of weird that every time you're hit, maybe that's like you dying and then you respawn. So you're just like seeing the respawn because you have to go somewhere like physically, like versus like a video game, you just see like the in-between screen and then you're respawned. So
I just took your weapon. Now what?
I know. I can't actually get back down there without my crossbow. I'm gonna jump.
Oh, that's weird.
It didn't work. Okay. This is some quality entertainment, said Ted's Tech.
So spawning platform.
Yeah, so I get it. You need to see something between dying and being respawned. So I think that's and there's this whole concept when you're in a VR game of like you have to do something with your physical self, like that isn't really, I don't know if that concept exists in normal games. Because like I just don't. So I see what they did here with the platform and the when you die you come back up here and then you can jump back in. But you could also just not die, or you could have like an effect that happens when you die, right? Like if you're hit, you're slowed for 5 seconds or something, and like that's you being dead. I don't know. What are you thinking about the platform? What are your thoughts?
So we don't have to have a platform necessarily like this. I think we were going to go for like a high score type of game, not a kill your friend type of game. So, we can make like our I think our idea was
you're right because we are hitting targets, not each other.
So we'll see targets in the level. We'll try to run. It's like a speed run type of thing. We're gonna go as fast as we can and try to blast targets down.
Oops, I just punched my monitor.
This is pretty cool, though. Oh, you're gonna try to rapid fire me, I see.
I gotta get you.
I got you again.
You don't even understand how rage-inducing this is. 4-0. 4-0. It's so unfair.
I've had virtual reality practice.
I'm literally over here like a machine gun, like do. Can't even hit you. I don't even.
I'm hacking.
What happens when the time? Do you know what happens when the time runs out?
The game's over.
But like, are we just thrown up here?
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna bunny hop. This is now Fortnite.
I just stink at this, Ed. I just stink at it. Can you see them coming at you?
Yeah, you're cutting them off before they get to me.
I don't understand what that means.
The faster you press it, they are despawning every time you press. So there's only one projectile. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like a volley of bullets. Oh, okay. I give up. I absolutely give up. Okay, so I'm going to take this off because I want to see. Well, first of all, I want to say hi to everybody. Oh, yeah. Dee Dee said I punched my monitor too, but for a different reason. His PowerPoint crashed. That's adorable. And AJ Skipper is laughing at us, or probably more likely me, but that's fine. I mean, look at this. This gorgeous. This is how you know someone is a true nerd, right? This is the sign. Oh, not hair, face, man. I don't know. I think it's like the Irish in me. My face just goes bright red. Ed will take it off and he'll have like no indent at all. Like he's just gorgeous. And I'm just like, yeah, you really are a robot. Okay, so
it's from all the stage makeup I wear.
Yeah, my monitor is actually tilted now from me hitting it. Okay, so I'm wondering.
You did hit your monitor?
I did hit it.
Funny.
It did
that's
happen.
Funny.
I'm wondering with this, because our game is going to be like, it's very Asian, Japanese inspired, because we wanted to use the Kendoka or the ninja, which is our logo at Progress, which I don't actually think is on my shirt, but I was like, I was going to show it to you. And so can you show them our world real quick? Yes. So this is the temple that Ed built, and he was teaching me on our last stream about how to kind of create zones, and not like a super, I guess, junior game developer mistake to make is to have a flat level. And so something that he was teaching me is this temple is going to be our centerpiece, and we're going to kind of donut around our centerpiece. And then this is like a raised area with maybe a bamboo forest. And then that shape right there, that's one of the basic shapes I was talking about on the last stream that we have. That shape is just denoting we're going to have an archway of sorts, kind of one of those wooden tilt up Asian archways. And then I love what Ed did on the last stream, which is he made that rocky base below the temple. And he kind of taught me a bit too about perspective. And as you go up with something high in the distance, you can change its ratio by like, what was it? Like by a third or something?
It was like, it was about a fifth, I think. It was maybe 20%.
And it's kind of like giving it the illusion that it's taller and bigger than it really is. And you can do this with things that are like off in the distance too, which I think is fascinating. It's kind of like what they do at Disney World, right? Like with the props and the castle and everything. So I think I love learning things like this. It's so cool.
This will be a lot of fun. We need to build some more of this stuff. This is always.
But I don't know. Like I was like, I don't know, Ed. Do we keep building out our world? Do we tackle a gun? So today, there's a couple of key things that I honestly have zero idea where to start when it comes to building out a holdable asset. Because so far, everything that we've built is not interactable with. It's props. It's the world. You don't touch it. So the idea of being able to pick something up and then do something with it, like for instance, fire a trigger, that's completely mystical to me. I don't really understand how that's even possible.
We've got a block that represents some sort of thing we will hold. So if I spawn in now, I come over to it looks like a stick of butter. If I try to pick it up, if I try to
I
pick
want
up our
to
stick
shoot
of
a
butter.
butter gun that like butter sticks at people. Like seriously,
Yeah.
for our prototype, can we please just shoot yellow sticks of butter at people?
So I can't pick up the stick of butter.
Okay, yeah, that's really, I
yeah.
think that's our first problem to solve. Oh, can you show the shapes too? So I was telling everybody on
Yeah.
stream during our last stream about how visual, like John Brown was asking me about programming in VR, and I was telling him about in Horizon you have these basic shapes, and so these are the shapes that everything you see is built out of, like in the last world, in this world, in
Yeah.
any world that you jump into. This is really
So there's only
amazing.
15. There's only 15, and they make up literally everything in Horizon. And I think we were talking about like deduplication last time. You asked me like if there was if we created a temple and we copied it, does the game engine like save memory by copying the entire temple and only using that asset twice? I
Yes.
think our answer is actually these 15 shapes. I think these 15 shapes are what help it reduce that memory footprint. So while we're not building assets that are duplicated, the assets are made of these very simple shapes, which are not so unique.
Okay.
So
Mighty Quinn said that you can
that's
morph
what
objects. So I didn't know if you wanted to talk about that for a second as well, combining and morphing.
So we can stretch like so. You can use the handles to move them around. You can move them around this manner. You can lock them into a grid with our magnet. So we can attach this to the top of the table in the center very easily, that sort of thing. It'll do alignment as well. So you'll see if I touch the edges of the stick of butter, it will align with the edges of the stick of butter and the table and all that good stuff. So there are grid tools, and then there's some weird stuff that you can kind of force the game engine to do with shapes. And again, this one I have not practiced enough to be successful in any way, shape, or form with. But essentially, you can't skew things. There's no skew mechanism in this. So what
like you can't
is,
take one of the corners and inverse it or something. Like
yeah, I can't grab the corner and make this like a 15-degree angle on the top. What you could do, so there's two ways to do this. I'll show you the easier way first.
I'm so excited to learn this hack because it's interesting.
So if I wanted to make an angle on this, what you could do is you can snap an angled piece to the top, and you just align all the edges. It looks like that actually worked pretty good just by default. So now that piece looks like it has an angled top, and we could just group that together. So now that piece has a 45-degree angle on it. Or you can do this, which is super weird, but I've seen people do it with success, yet I have failed miserably at it every time.
Oh no.
So
no, Ed, you're gonna do it this time and it's gonna be beautiful.
I can't predict what it's gonna do is the problem.
I know, and that's the thing, because it's what he's about to attempt, what Mighty Quinn is saying in the chat, of grouping two objects that are offset and then stretching them, which gives you a way to skew the default shape of the object. But like Ed is saying, controlling that skew is the art, because who wants whatever this thing is?
So if we kind of mash this around a little bit.
But actually,
the top one.
I could see how we could use something like that to get, because last week we were struggling to get the shape of the roof of the temple correct. So I could see how combining the correct shapes could work for you.
So now, if I pull this out of that group, I mean, it's totally gone berserk on me. But we've got these really skewed shapes here, and we could delete one of them out if we wanted, and it'll retain that odd shape.
It will. Like if they're not grouped anymore, they'll still be that.
So go in and
whatever that is.
There we go. I see, I'm even having a hard time selecting the one I want. Let's try.
Why delete one?
I just want one of them. I can grab that one. I can't grab the other one. So there it goes. And it went
Did it let
once
you?
when I did. Yeah. Oops. So now that I'm back out, I've got this really sharp looking, looks like maybe like crystals or something. We got a table with a crystal on it.
That's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a little. We're gonna like have little hidden crystals everywhere now. Oh, are you gonna make it glow? Shut up.
There we go.
Shut up.
There we go. So it's a glowy crystal shape with a very odd axis that I don't know how to resize properly now. So yeah, it's there, and I don't know how to utilize it, but you can do these things.
That's and then you have a unique shape.
It's very unique, but I didn't plan how the shape would come out. Like I don't know how to plan.
Sometimes Ed, as an artist, you just have to be along for the ride, you know.
But I got a cool crystal light thing.
I like it. I think we should keep it. Don't you dare delete that. It has healing
properties. I'm gonna sell these on QVC tomorrow. So
no, did you see the Nikes? Did you see the Nikes?
Yes. The evil ones.
My boss and good friend Sarah sent me this like link that you can go and buy VR Nikes to wear when you're in VR, and I was like,
"Oh, I didn't see those. No, I thought you were talking about the ones the rapper guy did."
I was just like, you can buy them right now and wear them in VR. Like it just cracked me up.
So if we want to be able to grab our stick of butter, which will eventually be a weapon someday, I promise. We'll go into properties. First of all, let me double check, make sure I didn't duplicate this by accident. If for some reason it feels like there's...
How many sticks of butter do you have there, darling?
It says there's only one. I was getting a weird like selection vibe. Like there was more than one there. Okay. So if I go to properties, I can do interactive, and it's automatically just grabbable. So if I come back, now I can grab it. Yay. And notice it does not fall. There's no gravity. I can just leave it, which might actually be good for a weapon, depending on how we want it to play out.
That's true, because I think that's how the crossbow works.
I think so.
Match. So
now I've seen scripts where like it will fall down, but if you like hold your hand in a certain way, it'll like jump
come back up.
That's kind of cool.
I think no matter what, bending down to pick it up is a bad idea, because if they're in a chair and your floor isn't perfect, then it might be lost to them. So I think either floating or a magical hand movement to retrieve your weapon would be perfect.
So if we change interaction from grabbable to both, then you'll see it fall to the table, and now the butter is on the table, and we can pick it up from the table.
Wait, what were the properties that you changed? Sorry, you went too fast. Show me again.
So there is motion interactive, and then interaction is both. So physics will let it fall, but both will let you let it fall and grab it.
Okay.
And then we can even
AJ Skipper's cheering us on. We did it.
We can even make the butter bounce. So
I'm gonna need to see that real quick. Did it bounce? Is it bouncing?
Yeah. It's not very bouncy. Let's see. Maybe I need to amp up the rubber ball to super ball and let it really
with all the power of VR behind us, we're bouncing a butter stick on a table.
That is very true.
It makes me so happy.
Squares don't bounce very good.
I just don't understand. If you say you want it to be a bouncy square, make it a bouncy square. Like,
well, you saw my hammer that one time. It went absolutely bonkers because the shape and the physics just went really crazy. Maybe it's Super Ball that made it go nuts.
Super Ball.
But you can really.
Does it work?
That's butter. A little makes it dance a little bit. Let's see. Oh, it's just dead flat. So if it was a round object, it would bounce.
You think it would actually be a super bouncy ball?
Yeah, that's for sure.
So right now it's grabbable and it has gravity. Oh yeah, you're going to show us how bouncy you can actually.
So we can go
Because it is weird to
interactive,
me
both,
that if you say I want this to
super
bounce,
well.
even though it's stick butter shaped, it doesn't. I don't.
Matter of fact, it's getting away from me already.
Oh, it is. Oh, that's awesome. Oh my goodness.
It really moves. So yeah, bouncing works if it's round.
Okay. Okay.
So we
So
have grabbable and all that. There's another thing I want to tinker with. I've never tried this before, but if any of our
Robert
experts
Tables said, "Find yourself a butter that will bounce, friends, and live your life."
there is this thing called grab anchor.
Ooh,
and what you
describe.
can do with grab anchor, and I've never tried this before, but apparently what you can do is take the anchor,
What the
and I
heck is
think if
that?
you like manipulate it like this, when you grab it, it will automatically grab it in that orientation. So
Oh,
if you
that
have
makes
like
me very
a
uncomfortable.
weapon with a handle, there we go. See how it oriented to my hand?
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that way, if I grab the top, see how I can't grab the, you don't want to grab it by the barrel. You want to grab it by
No,
the handle.
and that's perfect, but go back and show that creepy anchor
Although
because
it's,
it's
look what it did to my
freaking
arm.
me out.
It's creeping my arm out. So there, what was that now? The
The anchor,
note?
it's super weird. What is it?
Yeah, it is kind of wonky
Oh, is it a
looking, isn't it?
hand?
It's a
Oh, it's a
hand. Yeah, it's a
hand.
hand.
Okay, that's fine.
So
I'm
this
fine with it
is
being a
this is
hand.
the orientation of it. So if I let's
That
I
is
think if
so
I hit
cool. Where the
stop,
heck did you find an anchor? Where was that at?
if I hit
Pulling these
stop
things out of
world.
nowhere.
So I learned this trick the other day on a video.
Ooh.
If you stop the world from running, so you're essentially just stopping the program, the physics will stop, so it'll quit dropping things out of sight,
That's so
making
nice.
them easier to find and pick up. So under more, there's a use grab anchor, and then you can manually set the position, or I dragged it into position.
Okay. Okay.
Hand off, grab to.
Hand up to
So
grab
this
two.
is like you can hand the thing to other people. So if I put on no one, I would assume that if you're here, I can't give you the stick of
Like,
butter.
does that mean I can't grab it out of your hand or that you can't hand it?
I don't know.
Okay.
That'd be something I need to look up or
To
test. I
test
have
out.
no clue.
Okay.
It's something I
So,
found just yesterday.
what is
So,
collision
like,
events from on the bottom line?
that's if we want to set up an event to trigger if something collided with this object. So we don't. If we had made a target, the target would have a collision event.
Okay. Okay.
So this thing, this little hand thing, actually, let's turn it off for a second. And if we took, I'll show you even better example of why we might want that. If this thing had, say, let's put a little like grippy on the bottom,
Yeah.
like this.
Our
and then
butter
kind of
needs a grippy.
extend that down like that. And then we'll group this together. Now, if I go into game and I pick it up, I ruined
Yeah, where's your
pickup.
anchor? What
When I
happened to
grouped
the
it,
anchor?
when I grouped it, I think I broke the interactivity of it. So we want this to be interactive both, and then that, and then I think we need to put the world back in play. Let's see if that did the trick. Yeah, there. Now it came and it fell on the ground. Remember, I turned the grab handle part off. So this desk is in an awkward position. So if I grab it this way, I'm like, pew, pew, pew. This isn't right, right? Like, that's not what we want. Pew, pew, pew.
Oh God,
We want
I
to
love
grab by this, right?
that way.
So let's try the grab handle again.
Your hand just like inverted when you did that. That was amusing.
VR is so like goofy and fun because like your hands, watch this, like they're like kind of like these weird like things. And what I like to do when I'm bored is you grab this thing and you kind of
oh my God, what?
And if you're in Horizon and you're in a group and you see somebody's hand doing this, it's really funny. So I love this part of VR. It's just so weird.
It's kind of like
It's so
noodle hands.
quirky.
Yeah, noodle hands.
Such
I
a
love it.
quirky thing. So like if we go now, remember we could grab that from anywhere, and it looks silly when we grab it from anywhere. So we go back in here and we tag this again, and we say more, add a grab anchor, and now we've got the little hand doohickey. We take that and put it on the handle.
So you want to put it on it, or do you want to put it next to it? What are your thoughts about this?
I think like right about there, like right there. I think that's where you want it. And then we go back and play, and now if I grab it, look at that.
Oh, that's
See?
nice. What about grab it from the pointy end? Grab it from the pointy end.
If I try to grab from the pointy end, my arm does the derpy arm thing, but at least
it's so nice.
Keeps it consistent. So weird. Like, let's try this again. It keeps getting like my hand stuck under the table. Now I can't force it to do. Oh, there it goes. VR so weird. So yeah, but that orients it to your hand. I like that. That makes it a lot more realistic to me.
And can you imagine like programming something like Anchor? That would have been fun.
So let's try something else now. Like we need to like shoot a thing, right? Let's just make we'll do round.
Okay, wait. You remember the bird? You remember the bird? Didn't you make the bird?
No. The bird was in one of the levels.
Oh, no. That's right. All right. Well, we'll pretend this is a bird. A little red one.
I'm thinking, like, I think this probably needs to be interactive physics, but not grabbable. We don't want to grab it.
Right. Because these are going to, like, as they walk through our donut, we're thinking we'll have little donut via the shape of the map. We'll have little targets, hidden or not hidden, and they're going to need some functionality, I guess, when they're hit, like an effect or a noise or the scoreboard going up, these kind of things.
So I'm adding a script, and we'll call this weapon. And what I think we need to do here, again, this isn't something I've done before, but we need something like when index trigger is pressed. I'm wondering if that's the right one. When index trigger is pressed, then it needs player is received while self is grabbed. See, this is the stuff I need to figure out. So when it's pressed, we want it to do something. Let's go over here and just see if we can debug a message.
I don't understand what. So index trigger, that's talking about the physical trigger we have on our controller, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And then while self is grabbed. So self is going to be whatever we attach the script to. So if I come over to my butter gun and I click that, now that is a weapon. And let's see, was the world in play mode? I think it was.
Butter gun.
Butter gun.
I want you to leave butter gun as like a special weapon that only like mods get.
So I'm clicking the trigger. I think this is the trigger. I don't know which one.
Did you attach anything to the clicker trigger? I can't with the word.
You can't talk today.
You know I'm dyslexic. I'm actually certifiably dyslexic.
Oh, so that worked.
Trigger. Did it work? Trigger. Yeah,
because see the debug, it said pew 19 times, and that's about how many times I pressed the trigger. So now we have an event. So I can pick this up, and if I press this, pew pew pew, it's shooting. And it debugged that. So I know.
Okay, so you're really good at visual effects. Can you just slap on a visual effect when it's being pew? Pew.
So we need an object if we're going to attach an effect. Let's do a sound effect first.
This is the part that always gets me. Because I would just totally forget about the object part, and I'd just be like, create the effect and try to like attach it somehow.
So we'll
without
pull a
the
sound
object.
effect into the page, and we need to select a sound effect. Oops, it's a sound recorder. This is not the same thing. Sound recorder lets you record a custom effect.
Oh,
which
that's
I heard
cool.
there's some minor issues with. Like I heard they're delayed. Like it creates like some buffer space between the recording, which can be awkward. So I heard these are better to use. I don't know if that got fixed since the video I saw was made, but we have to try that out some other time. Let's see what kind of what's cool about the sound effects page here is it has a filter. So on search sounds, I can say fire, and it should find something with at least the word fire in the name. Or I might need shoot or something like that. Searching. It's not doing a good job finding it quickly, that's for sure. Let's try another keyword. Okay, there we go. Bow shoot, laser shoot. There we go. I like that one. So we'll grab the laser shoot sound effect. And then
can we hear
what we need.
Is it playing? Can they hear it?
That's right. You cannot hear it because I think you'll get double audio from me talking.
Oh, right.
And
okay.
Or you talking. We can try. Like
I don't want to make anything insanely hard. I just was making sure I wasn't missing it because I couldn't hear anything.
Try.
So
let's see what happens.
Okay.
We can always turn it
let's
off.
Do it. Let's see how crazy it gets.
Whoops. Let's see if I do. I'm going to stop my screen share. I have to reshare it because this has the option. So if I share my audio, oh, that's what it is. I have to share my entire screen, and it will share the entire PC audio, which will mean you will double speak. So no, I can't have audio yet. Haven't figured that out yet.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing it.
Okay, so yeah, so maybe we should do a visual effect, which it doesn't really matter. You just need to delete that in this, and we'll do new variable object VFX. We still probably want to have a sound effect at some point, but I expect people to play this outside of watching us play it. We'll add a visual effect, and then instead of just debugging Pew, we will play visual effect. And we don't need the debug anymore. And then the play visual effect expects a variable. So we'll play visual effect there. And then if there's anybody that's used to the Horizon stuff, you probably already see like a problem with this, but I'm going to let it go for teaching reasons. We'll pull particle effect in here, and then we have a bunch of different particle effects we can play. This one is like kind of like a smoke effect.
You need to think to yourself, what would a stick of butter actually do if I fired it?
I like that. Let's do the confetti. Let's shoot confetti out of it, right?
Yep.
So
it makes sense.
we've got the confetti effect, and then we need to wire these things together. So we'll go back to our stick of butter. And now you can see the stick of butter has this VFX plug on it. So we'll take and select our visual effects, and we'll take the plug reference and put it in the visual effects. Now the butter knows
bizarre, like the programming, like you're connecting like a wire between two things in order to attach it. It's just so funny.
Now there's a little problem here, as you can see.
The
effects are not where my stick of butter gun is. What we want it to do is spew out of the end.
Okay.
So we need to tell it how to find that. So what we can do is add a trigger.
It's weird to me that attaching it to the butter did not attach it to the butter's position. Can you explain anything? Any visual effect that you can imagine that you would not want it attached to the position of the thing you're attaching it to? What? What?
So the thing is with this, you might want like the visual effect to be somewhere and not be kind of attached to this thing. Now, what you can do is you can either teleport this to the end of the gun, no matter where it is in the game.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you can have it in the group and have it follow the gun, but I found it's most of the tutorials and things I've seen, it's moved to the location of it. So
Like
we'll
most of the
follow.
tutorials, they do the teleporting thing.
Yeah, and it's
Okay.
not hard to do, so we'll just go ahead and do that.
Because that sounds
So
insanely hard to do.
we'll jump into the group. We'll bring up our trigger object, and we'll put the trigger at the tip of the gun. And this is actually probably, oops, I want to move this. This will probably help us later on anyway, because we'll probably want to shoot something from that same location. So
For sure.
the projectile will exit that spot.
I think we're thinking throwing star right now, but really we're open to things like butter.
So now it is in the group with the placeholder butter gun. And then we'll just come back here, and we will say, I got lost so much closing some things. So on our weapon, we need a variable here that is an object, and this is going to be.
Did you just set it to a Boolean?
Oops. Thank you. Object. And this is going to be the, we'll say barrel. And our barrel is going to essentially link to that, what is it called? The, forgetting the name of it already. The trigger block, little invisible green block here. So what this does gives us basically an XY coordinate. And if I can get this to work. So this is the weird part about working in this environment. I need to select this, see the properties, zoom into it. There we go. And now I can grab the properties of the trigger and link this to the barrel. Now we know where the barrel is in the gun. So now we can take the visual effects here and we'll put in a move to.
Okay.
We need to give it a set of vector coordinates. So what we need to do is come down and transform. Let's see, is it this one? New vector from XYZ. That's not the one. Position of object. Bloop. And then the position of the barrel. And we'll move the visual effects there. So on action, move to position of barrel. On visual effects, play visual effects.
So that you don't think it will be like, you don't think that the visual effect could potentially happen like across the room and then be sucked in while it's happening? Like you think the order of this will be, and it's not happening elsewhere for like a split second?
It looks like it might have a little delay.
If you're moving. No moving. Oh, that's gonna be so hard to figure out with the projectile. Yeah. Like as long as you stand still and shoot your weapon.
So
let's see. Okay.
So there might be something.
Can you show me this logic again? So we have on our index trigger with a player, which what would that be other than a player? Who else is doing the index trigger?
Yeah, I think that has to be player.
Index okay, cool. Just wanted to make
sure.
Maybe
you could link it to another player.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Okay. And that is received while it's being held. There's an action to move the position of the barrel.
So there's trigger pressed and trigger released. what did we have? Trigger down. What? Trigger press, trigger released. Okay. And if I do, that one's trigger up, that one's trigger down. Let's try this instead.
Trigger up. You want to try
Let's
trigger up?
Trigger up instead of trigger down. See if that has any kind of.
Thanks, Jewel Nyko.
Oops. Let's try to grab that again.
What will happen?
It's a little.
You can
laggy.
still do it.
Yeah. So.
Wait. Wouldn't a delay fix it? Like if we didn't let you shoot your gun within a second, wouldn't that fix this problem? Or no? Maybe.
I think this might be a latency issue.
Really? No.
Yeah. So there is some issues with latency on this. I'll have to look at some of the other gun samples I've seen, and like the crossbow one, it might keep that up to date with the object in another way, but it looks like it's a latency thing.
Okay.
So let's try some other things here. We need a projectile. Let's see if we can at least. We can always.
You're actually going to attach something? Oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay.
So we'll add a bullet here.
Okay, I'm so excited.
Then
our butter bullet.
When we pull the trigger, we will. Let's see. We want to launch from object.
Oh my god, that's a thing. Oh, that's so cool. Object. Oh, what does that say?
Launch from with self number on self.
Is that a distance?
I think
is that like 10
self. Yeah, I think
feet?
That's a velocity.
Oh.
And then we want it to launch the bullet from the barrel. I think that's what we want.
On bullet. It's really weird that those aren't reversed. I don't understand that part of it.
Let's see. Okay, that essentially did nothing. So something is not right there.
Well, I'm confused.
We
did you create the bullet asset? Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know.
We never signed it. So trigger. Oh, wait, I want this thing.
We need a butter bullet.
We need a bullet. So let's grab
butter bullet.
Little ball that we made earlier.
Make it buttery.
And then we'll grab that and put that in the bullet category. And then... Oh! That went the wrong way.
Oh my gosh. That was awesome. Wait, it went the wrong way. What do you mean?
It went back. It went like... So, if we grab this... All right. If we grab that and we zoom in on the group...
There's your bullet.
Wait a second. This is awkward.
The bullet is like gone.
There we go. So if I come down to the trigger and I rotate the trigger, I think about 90 degrees. I think that'll fix it.
Oh.
I think the blue axis might be the
front.
Does that say Z or what? What does it say? Does it have a label? That's why. Oh, I can actually read these. So if I wanted to correct this completely, I think this Y being on top where I can read it, Z being here where I can read it. I think this orients it correctly with what I would expect.
So that you're not firing out of the back of your weapon?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay, do it. Butter gun is alive. You have no idea how awesome this is. I mean, you do, but like, oh my god, this is awesome.
We did it.
She lives. Butter gun lives.
It's so great. I love it. So yeah, that looks like the basics of a gun. That's why I said we did this in like 2 lines of code. I know that one example was like uber complex, but
are you talking about the crossbow example?
Yeah, the crossbow does like a lot more than this, so we may end up there, but let's not start there, right?
Okay, so can you talk really quick about like the arc that Buttergun is shooting at? Is that customizable, or is that going to be something that you have to do
I
manually?
think this depends on a few things. I'm thinking. I've never done this before, so I'm speculating, just speculating here, that the
Robert Table
physics
said that
material,
Buttergun is going to be a new Overwatch skin. Oh my gosh. Oh my
the
gosh. Although
physics
I,
on this
so
is
you think that
probably.
if you made the sphere heavier, it would change the arc?
I don't think you can affect the weight. And I apologize if I'm not facing a screen. I can't tell where I'm oriented here. Um, the not so much the. I don't think you can change a physical weight, but there's a material that you can control. I think it bases some of it on the material. Um,
Ooh.
there's
Ooh, show us, show
also
us.
so
If you
I
changed
changed it to
it,
Super Ball, and
okay.
then there's also this number here. If I take this number off, launch
Oh.
from barrel with, I think this is a velocity of some kind. So what we can do is instead of having a hard-coded number, we'll create a variable. And
That's
it's a
like a random
number,
number? What is it going to be based on?
and I'm just going to put it as V for velocity. And then in our script now, our gun attached script right here, where's my reference to it? Okay,
Uh,
weapon. Something didn't update. The script is out of sync or something. Let me try closing it and bring in properties. Yeah, there it is. There we go. So now I have on the individual gun asset, I can change V, which is I think is velocity. So
um,
we'll try. Let's try
because
5. So
it
it
was
was
10.
10. So we'll go with
Yeah.
half, and then this should be like a derpy little. Yeah. So it doesn't go very far, but it's a super ball, so it bounces. So boink, boink, boink. So let's
But it
try.
totally did. Can you change it from Super Bowl to like feather or something just to
Oh,
see the
let's.
direct difference?
Yeah. So let's do this, and then we'll have some fun with it in a minute. Super
Oh,
Ball
we are already
feather.
having fun. Oh, I can't wait. Let's see. Let's
So
see
now
what
we have a
happens.
feather shot. Yeah. So that really changed the arc of it. So it has like
Wow.
no.
Because it has no weight behind it, so it just goes.
Yeah. So just it feathers out. So let's change it
Okay.
again. Let's do something else with this. So the velocity is currently 5. Um, oh, this is I want the
What's
bullet for a
fascinating
second.
to me is that you can fire it multiple times and it brings the bullet back. You didn't program that, right? Like this
No,
whole
no. So
respawn
it's
bullet thing. Like why is that built in?
because we're telling it to launch from. So every time we say launch from, it grabs that reference and launches it from the end of the
No
gun,
matter where it is. Okay.
no matter
Okay.
where it is.
Okay.
So if you want to have multiple bullets, you'd really have to like write some pretty complex things like to track each individual bullet, which one's
So I'm
in
a little
motion.
confused because in the PvP world that we were playing before, there were multiple bullets, but you didn't see
Yeah,
them. But like it, so that was a strange way. It
I
almost makes
think
more
you
sense
can
to
have
have
2
a
shots in that
bullet.
one.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Hmm.
So we're gonna change this from feather. Let's make it. Let's change it back to rubber ball for a minute, and then let's try that one more time. Make sure it just does what I expect. Boink. So it
So
gets
five.
so
Explain
watch
explain
this.
velocity to me again. What?
So let's explain velocity by playing with it. So let's do. So right now V is 5. So whenever we shoot the gun, let's take and do a set 2. And then after we shoot, we'll take V and we will do some math on V. And we'll say V equals, um, Let's take, where's a plus sign?
Honey,
Plus.
look at these.
So V will equal V plus, let's see, I need a value of a
Are you gonna make
number.
it? Are you trying to make it slow down?
I'm going to speed it up.
You're gonna-
So we'll add 1 to it each time we fire. Cool?
No, I'm confused. This is each time we fire? I thought it was like each bounce that the thing makes on the ground.
Each time I fire, it should go a little
Oh.
further. And then when
It
I
is.
mean, it started at 5, so it's getting further and further.
Oh my gosh.
Let's crank this up a little bit. I'll just pull the trigger a bunch of times, and then it's
When
really
you crash
it's really
the
firing
world.
now. Stack Overflow, right? I mean, it's really hauling now, right?
Oh, that's funny.
It started off kind of droopy. Now it shoots like all the way across the world.
So, can you show me that script you just wrote again, real quick, with the plus one?
Sure. It's just a simple counter.
So it's happening on action launch from. So everything's happening every time you shoot it. Because in my mind, I thought we were affecting velocity, so that each time, I don't know, that it bounced or something, it would get faster. But we're not doing that. It's every time it's shot.
Yep. Every time I pull the trigger, it takes V and adds 1 to it.
Robert Table said, "Little do we know, he's no-scoping people on the other side of the world."
My hacks.
Can you imagine building a scope in this? How would that even work?
What's cool is that we can control it with a variable like that. So you could have something in game, like if you hit a target, it like upgrades your shot or something, and like makes it the velocity like much stronger, so it's a little easier to aim.
Like for instance, if you hit your friend, you upgrade your butter gun to butter gun 2.0.
But I think we, for the most part, thanks to the thing.
Hey, Salt.
I'm wondering.
We are working on building out, if you're just now joining us with Salt, we are working on building out a weapon in Horizon that will fire projectiles. And Horizon is Facebook's VR platform that's still in beta. And right now we've, so far, Ed, you can show them Buttergun. Buttergun is beautiful and fully functional. It's really perfect. I don't think there's anything else to be done, actually. I think we've done it.
I'm going to try this, where...
Yes, this is Ed on Oculus.
When...
AKA Ed in his natural habitat.
Oh, that's weird. So apparently
you
can't launch a visual effect.
Oh, you wanted to add the confetti, like...
Yeah, I was trying to see if I could get it to launch. Yeah. So there has to be a way to do the visual effect thing better. I need to like investigate that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, it shouldn't be confetti. It should definitely be water, because, Buttergun gets liquidy.
So when I'm moving and at the same time I'm pulling the trigger...
Are you flying?
No, I'm using the controller to kind of float. You see, it doesn't do the confetti thing where it delays it. So the move to versus the launch from seems to have a bit of different latency code on it or something. It seems to be able to keep up with that a little bit better. So yeah, maybe a small delay or something might help it.
I was wondering that.
Kind of work with that and see what happens. So
because those other guns in the PvP match that we did earlier, they very much were... I liked their 1 second delay, or like only able to fire once per second, I think was what it was.
Yeah.
Salt was asking, he said, I tried one of those before and it really messed up my eyes. I wonder if there's a way you can calibrate the Oculus for your vision. The different kinds have different ways of calibrating it. Which kind do we have, Ed? What is this?
This is the Quest.
So this is the Quest, and you can adjust manually like the distance of each eye screen. So that helps a lot. We also have Zach, what's your Oculus?
Quest 2.
Oh, Turtle Guy has a Quest 2 that I've played with. And they're cheaper, but less comfortable. But you also have a mechanism that you can adjust the eyes a bit. So that's nice. Where can I get one of those? What is the website? I'll have to Google it. We bought them from the Oculus store. Oculus. They're like on back order right now, I think. I think they're hard to find.
Are they again?
Well, I mean, at least all the stores. Well, some of the stores I had checked didn't have them, but I might be thinking of the Xbox.
Yeah, you are.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking of the Xbox. It looks like from Oculus.com you can get them today. Or you could have been on my earlier stream where we gave one away. But that's fine. It's over. It's done. Gotta let it go.
Yeah,
Okay.
So I'll have to play with these visual effects a little bit, figure out what the best combination is to make it shoot the confetti properly. If we want to have a confetti come out the end type of thing. But I think what we ideally want is like a or like
Look at how violent it is. Our butter gun that shoots rubber balls. That's it right there. That's the meta. Oh my gosh.
But look what we did. I mean, we got a handle that is grabbable and oriented to the player. I like that.
Right.
So you can't accidentally like pick it up by the top and shoot yourself in the noggin with a rubber ball. And
I love it, and I think
there.
I honestly think it answered a lot of my questions as far as, because so far we've only built out assets that were non-grabbable and non-usable. So, and the anchor thing, that was cool, because I've seen before that the grabbable toggle, but I've never before seen the anchor that orients the object that you're holding to your hand. So that comes in clutch for something like this, because it'd be a nightmare if someone grabbed the gun in the wrong direction. But honestly, I think Buttergun is ready to go. Like, I think we just need to finish the map and make some targets, and she's beautiful. Like, I've never loved a gun as much as I love Buttergun.
Let's do something. Do you still have time?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Let's make a target. Let's make a target.
Okay, please.
Let's grab a shape here.
Make it a red bird.
Red
bird. Shoot the red bird with Buttergun.
Yes! Why do I hang out with you?
You make me so happy right now. Look at him make that red bird. This is the perfect shape for red bird.
So we have the bird. Let's make him red. And let's see, we need, oh my gosh.
He's beautiful. He's going to be hiding in a tree.
This is a parent that is making me do this right now, just so you all know.
I think my son would also like to see you shoot the red bird with a butter gun. I don't see the problem.
So we need a beak.
Oh my god. He's so cute.
And, I need to adjust my grid. It is so large.
Robert is over here making jokes.
Ooh,
he said the target for a Buttergun should be toast.
That's actually a good idea.
Oh my god. You shoot toast in the trees with your Buttergun. I guess it doesn't have to be trees. You could be walking through a kitchen. It's just, I feel like we made a mistake with the Japanese theme.
Let's see. Getting this to line up is hard. All right. So.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's gorgeous.
That needs to be
beak colored.
And then we need this.
An eyeball. Are you going to give it an eyeball?
It's got to have eyes, or it's just...
Yeah, it's got to have eyes. It's got to have eyes.
I'll tell you what we should do.
Oh my god.
Let's get the eyes done, and we will infringe on some copyrights.
Whose copyrights? You tell me right now.
Hang on.
I'm so
We'll get there.
excited.
I need to orient this.
Oh, good lord.
It's not
Why is
behaving.
it so big? This is going to be a really creepy bird.
So I'm trying to get it to align. It won't line up
Oh,
properly.
yeah. Salt said Lando Lakes clapper. I don't know what that means at all. Like, even in a little bit. I know Lando Lakes is a brand of butter, and I like clapping,
Oh,
but I don't know what Lando Lakes clapper means. I don't. I'm missing out. I'm confused.
all right.
I is
There we go.
confused.
We've got an eyeball. So
She is
we
beautiful.
need to duplicate said eyeball.
Robert said it's a
Oh,
different
where'd it
kind
go?
of clapping.
Oh, no. I think this is a family show. I'm not sure I
My.
want to know where that's going.
Oh, I totally am confused, and will let Ed guide me through these
I
trepidations.
wouldn't Google it.
What?
I wouldn't Google it. So let's see. So let's do some copyright infringement here.
Okay,
I'm gonna
what?
grab one of these, and let's.
Is it going to be a wingaling dragon? What is it? He's angry.
He's an angry bird.
He's an angry bird. Oh my god.
He's
You
an
just have no
angry
idea how
bird.
happy this makes me. He's beautiful. He's so beautiful. And he's going to be sitting up in his tree, like doing his little rotation. And you're going to be like, pop with butter gun. And he's going to be angry.
Oh, he needs to be bigger.
Oh, he
I didn't
does?
follow
How big is
my
he?
only golden rule here. So let's see.
Those eyebrows, though.
It's great, isn't it?
Pop.
Let's see.
Oh god.
So we'll bring him here. So let's make him at least as big as a hand, so we can see him a little bit better. There we go. That's better. He's got the eyebrows.
I mean, he's kind of actually really adorable. Wish he'd made him uglier.
Well, we could probably do some brow adjustments here and make him more fierce. So if we grab this maybe and rotate it over.
Oh. Thanks, Chris. Salt was saying that I have a lot of energy. It's Ed. Ed just like makes me so happy with his creations. He is a beautiful artist. So beautiful. Oh my gosh.
Can we make him more angry? Maybe
I think you kind of made him into like Elvis bird.
Is it better if they're ups? No, they need to be.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna make an angry face.
Getting the angry vibe from him.
Not sure.
How about let's try.
It's not. Robert said it's not angry. It's angy. Angy?
Let's try it.
Oh, you're gonna try a different shape.
Now he just looks like he's worried. Let's go back.
I think that's
right.
pretty appropriate. He should be worried. Buttergun is coming for him.
Doing a little undo action here. I think that's probably that's good. Like
I think it's fine. I think it's beautiful. I just think it's adorable, and people are gonna have an issue with shooting him, but it's fine.
So let's make it collidable is on collision events from tagged objects.
Yeah.
And let's say bullet. Oh, this might be something we want to play with later too. Let's see. That is good. I think that's all we need, and then we need to put him somewhere. We don't have any tree assets or anything yet. Let's just, I guess, set him on the table. We'll set him on the table. Just minding his own business, being angry at the ground. Then we need to get the bullet. And
you have to like attach it as the collidable object, yeah?
We need to call it a bullet. Because remember we said that it accepts a collision from a tag, we need to tag it as a bullet. So when the bullet hits the target, it will do something to the target. And then we need a script. And I don't know if this is how the game mechanics should work, but this will be the prototype. When colliding with an object, then let's see. When collision enter, let's go ahead and just say debug print. And then we'll write out a little string here. And
this is the script on the bullet? Yeah?
So
No.
when collision enter object is received, let's see, do I have the right thing? When colliding with object, is that the right one? Collision enter, yeah, that's what I picked. I think that's the right one. Colliding with player, when object is...
It's funny when
the
the
right one.
sentences go over. I think that's funny.
When collision is entered by an object, let's see what this does, if anything. So it should debug if we take this and we shoot the bird. Did he say ouch? Did he say ouch?
Did he? Did you hit him?
It did not say ouch. Clear that. Let's try that again. So I definitely shot it twice.
I think you for sure. Yeah.
So, oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. Silly me.
What?
I created the script and then attach it to anything. The bird has to know about the script, and the script has to know about the bird. Let's see. So we'll grab this window here, and we'll say you are script 1, because I never named it. And now let's try to shoot the bird. Pew! All right. And then we need to get the... Oh, ouch! It said... So we've got a trigger, a successful trigger. So... what should we do? Explode the bird?
Oh!
Is that too mean? Is that against some PETA-like stuff, or what? What do we want to do?
Explain what you mean by explode. Like, oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine. As long as you're not actually talking about like bird mitts flying around.
No. If I knew how to do that, though, that would. Oh, wait,
you see his little.
You gave me an idea.
Go.
You gave me an idea.
No.
So let's do this. Let's see if I can do this. So let's take a bird, and we will take him, and we will record an animation, and we'll take this and rotate. Come on. Select. And stop the animation. And then I think it needs to be, it can be, let's see. It's not working. Wait, there it goes. Play. Oh, that's so slow. It needs to be sped up. Let's make it a 6 here. So, okay. He drops dead. Although his rotation is awkward. That's the game engine. You need, if you want to rotate something on its bottom axis, you need to add like a false bottom to it. It's weird. We'll leave it like this.
Oh, really? Oh, how funny.
Yeah, it's very rudimentary.
Robert said that we could make the beak fall and bounce on the ground. Just the beak.
So let's see here. Where's the script at again? So okay, script, that's the weapon script. Script 1 was the bird one. Let's rename this.
Yeah, because I'm getting lost in the scripts.
So this will be our bird. And instead of just saying ouch, we will play animation on self. And I think that's it. I think that's all we need.
Yeah?
So I recorded the animation where the bird falls over. So if
Wait, is there confetti popping off somewhere?
Yeah,
that was weird.
Every time the world starts, it spawns.
Okay.
Effects. So, oh, I missed. Boop. How about that? He's down. Bird down.
That was the cutest, coolest thing I've ever seen in VR in my life. Wow. Ed, you are so good at this. Our game is going to be incredible.
You're just easy to impress, I think. You're easy to impress, I think.
Oh my god.
So
that was so cool.
To build mode here.
He's so perfect.
This guy,
He's the most perfect bird and the most perfect gun.
And let's stop for a sec. So
Robert said that compared to trying to make it happen in Unity, this seems super fun. So I'm assuming Unity is more intense.
Unity, this would take a lot more. Like you'd have to go into a model builder and create like a skeleton and do a bunch of stuff and build an animation off the skeleton and program it to animate a certain way. This you just kind of like click on stuff. So what I'm going to do is we're going to jump in on property.
Oh, he's beautiful.
Like, remember when he rotated? Here, I'll play it again.
Yes!
Come on, animate. Oh, did I turn the world off? Why isn't he animating? Maybe because I have him selected. Yeah. So see how he animated on his center axis?
Yep.
So when I rotate, this is, I think, is going to break the animation, by the way. But that's okay. We're going to redo it. So when I rotate, see how he rotates like that?
Yeah.
He's rotating off his middle.
Can you rotate off the rump?
So you can't change the axis in which this rotates. But what you can do is you can go into the shape and we'll grab the main triangle piece and I'll make a copy of it like this. So we'll change the center axis by extending the shape down and lining it up kind of with the middle of the body there. So now he's kind of got like a double, now the axis moved from his middle to here. And you'll see that when I zoom out. Before I zoom out though, I want to grab the properties of this little butt we gave him. And we want to turn collidable to off. And then we also want to turn visible off. So he's got like an invisible rump that's underneath the table.
Yeah,
Then we'll go back and we'll re-record the animation. And if I select him now, see how it selects that whole piece? Now his center point is different. Bloop.
Okay.
So if I hit stop, and then
the center point is different because you grouped them together, right?
So I extended the length of the shape. So now the center axis is in the middle.
You didn't extend the length of the shape. You duplicated the shape.
But the group as a whole.
The group. Okay, so you extended the length of the group.
Yeah, when I hold this, the yellow box is now the center of the yellow box is where this blue anchor
Robert said that's clever. That is clever. That is amazing.
I wish I would have thought of it, but there are people that are there are people that are showing others how to do this stuff, and I learned from the internets. So now it plays dead in a much more realistic, less floaty manner. So now if we end that, and we'll reset the world again. So he's upright. Come on, upright. Reset. All right, did I break him? Oh, there we go. It made me touch it for some reason. All right, so now we'll come back and grab. Oh no, did I do something to the... Oh, I know what it is. I have the world on stop. I bet. Play world. There we go. I had the game paused. There we are. There, he's properly playing dead. His playing dead is about as realistic as my daughter the other night when she was up past her bedtime, and I walked in her room, and she played possum. She's just like, "Er," and I was like, "Yeah, that's not gonna work. Get your butt to sleep." Like,
Oh my god, that's
like I
so
know
funny.
that trick.
You-
Done that. I've been there.
She's got like flashlight in hand. It's still not turned off. What? I'm sleeping. I'm sleeping.
It's like I heard the TV turn off as I like opened the door. Come on. So this is
Robert said,
I
"I'm playtesting for you, Dad."
I still have my incremental velocity enabled here. So eventually this should ramp up to where I can shoot.
Is it gonna?
Oh, I got him. This is too funny.
That is the coolest thing. Oh my god, I love it so much. Although it does feel like cheating when the bullet is the size of the bird.
Well, here, let's make it.
Got him.
Pew!
This is so cool.
I got him.
Word. Did it fall over? It fell over, didn't it?
Yeah. Can you believe I hit him? Let's see.
Honestly, no. I thought it was going to hit the table and not collide with the bird. So that's amazing. Because it was so big. Oh my word. This is so cool. So we still have a ton of things to cover, like turning Buttergun, or not turning Buttergun, because we're going to just duplicate Buttergun. Buttergun will always live in our hearts and in VR.
It needs to be an Easter egg in our name.
Yes, exactly. And maybe we'll make it shoot butter. That would be even cooler. But we need to duplicate it and make it more of a crossbow and that shoots throwing stars, and figure out how to create the throwing star asset, and also how to maybe spin the throwing star. I feel like it might spin while it flies. So there's lots of fun things to cover. We're definitely going to have a part 2 of making the projectile and the weapon. Because, I mean, Buttergun's cool, but it's not really Japanese themed.
Is it though? You saying that we can't have a Asian themed Buttergun?
I'm saying as mods we can, but the players are going to need something a little more spicy.
Did you see I've upgraded the shooting gallery? Is now 3 birds.
You do. Wait, can you go put one on our
this.
map? Can you go put one on our map real quick? Can you like drag it over to the playing area? Oh my god, please. I'm so excited. It's gonna be beautiful. Whoa. Where are birds going?
Things got out of hand there.
Robert said this is the weirdest version of Duck Hunt.
It is. Are you old enough to remember Duck Hunt though?
I did. I did play Duck Hunt. I had what was it? One of those, like, I don't even remember what the version's called, but you like push it in and you blow it out whenever it like stops and it gets fuzzy. You got cartridges. It's like Nintendo, I think.
Yeah. Where you're going with that.
Ed, you're the worst.
I don't know what you mean. So the Nintendo light guns, I heard those do not work on the new like LCD TVs. I heard that is not a thing.
Oh.
Like they can't track the beam the same way. So the way those actually worked, and I can get into some really nerdy stuff. There's actually a really cool YouTube channel that does similar kind of chatter.
Robert was saying that the TV doesn't have a tube anymore.
Yes.
I don't know if that's relevant to the...
Oh, he's so tiny you can't see him.
It's okay. Good luck shooting him.
So LCD panels don't have a scan type of display. So the old screens, what they would do, and I think my eyeballs are done. So 1 second.
Did I lose you? Are you still here? Oh, you're switching audio. Okay, I'm gonna I was like,
Yeah.
silent,
So
that is silent.
when I
silent,
take
silent.
the headphones off, or when I take the Oculus off, it kills the audio. It goes to sleep. So, see, I have the ring.
Yeah, for like 2 seconds. It'll be gone. Watch. Before we end the stream, Ed's face will be perfect.
So the old Nintendos would have they had a CRT screen. So the CRTs worked by shooting a beam at a screen that's coated in phosphorus, and it would illuminate a physical dot, and it would paint that across the screen in repetition from top to bottom, left to right, until it got to the bottom of the screen, and then it would start again at the top, and it did this 60 times per second. And that's pretty crazy that it's able to do that. And the way the Nintendo gun worked is it would take a kind of like a photograph of the screen, and if the dot was inside of the gun's sight as it was painting that line, it would know where you shot. So the LCD monitors don't paint the screen that way, so you can't aim the gun at the screen and tell where it's painting. They just kind of like refreshes an array. So yeah, it doesn't work like that anymore. So I don't know if they have like mods or anything to make that work, but
that's fascinating though, that's how it used to work. That's so cool.
Yeah, there's actually a little lens inside the gun, and it takes kind of a capture of that area of the screen. So yeah, there's the Nintendo knows where it's drawing as that beam is going, and it kind of meshes up where, is the frame in the same spot that you aimed, and is the duck in that frame, and then it would shoot the duck. It's pretty crazy engineering.
Well, I honestly am so impressed with how far you got with the weapon and the projectile and the target. Like, it's just absolutely, you went from like a rectangle to that. That was awesome. I loved it. And honestly, I don't think it needs much. I mean, I don't think it needs much at all. I think we're like there. Like, ship it. We could make millions.
I think the tools that they provided are just so like intuitive that you can do stuff so fast that it's just it's so much fun. It's so much fun to play. If anybody's looking for that YouTube channel, by the way, this is the YouTube channel.
Nice.
A shout out because I've been entertained by this for the last couple months. It's called Retro Game Mechanics Explained.
That's like the worst. Like, if anyone has to type that out, God help them. UCWR. Yeah. You couldn't have given us a cleaned up version. No, it's fine. We're fine. It's called Retro what? Yeah, if they're looking it up.
If you want to search, it is Retro Game Mechanics Explained.
Okay.
That particular bit on the duck hunt thing, I don't think that's on there. I don't know what deep reaches of my brain I pulled that out of, but I learned that somewhere. There's something on this one about the Super Scope that does a very similar thing though. But this is just so cool. This guy, he goes into great detail on like how they programmed like old school Mario games and stuff. And he works with like emulators and the emulation community. Like, he gets the dumps and reads through the source code and all kinds of stuff to figure all this out, and then has the ability to explain it in really elegant detail and animate it and everything. It's such a good channel. Totally love that. So if you're into like game dev stuff, this is like geek heaven. Great channel. Have fun with that. What are we doing Friday, Alyssa?
Friday. Tomorrow?
That is tomorrow, isn't it?
It's been quite the week for me. I'm pulling up the calendar. UI Fridays, right?
Yeah. I think I was supposed to crash that, right?
I think you are crashing it. So what I really want to do is build some sort of Easter egg and have accessible clues that you can only find or hear with like a screen reader. So, but I don't know. We need to talk because I think we might do it closer to the end of the month. So Friday might be just, I mean, you are always welcome to crash it, but it might be more boring than that because I think we need to pair it up close to the Worthy web stream that we're going to do. So, but we'll talk. Who knows? Maybe we'll do accessibility tomorrow. But
I'm going to share one
yes.
more thing before we go because this was my fun for the day. This was a fun little project, and it's up.
Yes.
It's up on the interwebs. So,
it is up. I searched it. I downloaded it. I have it.
I thought it would be awesome to have a Code It Live theme for Visual Studio Code. And I tried to make one for Visual Studio, but the theming on Visual Studio is garbage, and I couldn't get it to work right. So we got one for Visual Studio Code, which I think more of our audience probably uses anyway. So there is a extension theme. I'm trying to get it up here on the marketplace as well. So there we go. Let's see. So this is the theme, and you can get this on your Visual Studio code install if you go to the packages and type extensions and say Code It Live. And I plan on using this on the show. So you can install the Code It Live theme, and it is our Code It Live branded colors. And I think it turned out pretty good. I like the colors. We have some cool brand colors. I thought we'd incorporate those into a theme and share that with our audience so they can use it if they want to use it.
Yes. So Salt is saying that he likes those colors. And Salt, I'm not ignoring you. I totally wanted to address, do I need your help? Yes, absolutely. I'll be hitting you up. The more the merrier. And also, I know you had mentioned wanting an Oculus giveaway. I can work on getting an Oculus giveaway. It was on the Mobilize channel with C# Fritz, though, that we did the giveaway today. So, but yes, I can try and see if we can get something. But Ed, I love the Code It Live theme. Have it downloaded. We'll be using.
Cool. Very cool. I thuld you used light mode, Alyssa.
I do, but
we need to retool this to a light theme one.
I would use it. I would actually use it every day. I'm trying to, especially if I'm coding at night, to make myself switch over. But I have contrast issues. Like I am certifiably blind without my contacts or glasses. So I know it sounds silly, but the black on white is easier for me to read. I'm blind. But no, just I'm trying to be kinder to my eyes and use more dark modes. And this one's beautiful. I love it.
Thank you. And I added some extra semantic highlighting for Blazor too. So it's not anything epic, but it gives you a little bit more highlighting in Blazor than maybe a generic theme would, because I'm a Blazor user. So it gives you a little bit more highlighting on components and identifies the attributes differently than it does standard HTML attributes. So there's a little bit of nice bonus stuff in there. So this was a fun little thing. I want to make some more of these too. So I want to do a Kendoka theme and a Ninja theme. So we'll make some more of these. These are fun to make.
There's nowhere to put like a logo or anything, right? Like that'd be so fun to have your little like. I don't think themes have that slot, right? There's not a.
No, there's nothing that I know of that can do that. There are icon packages I think you can add, but that seems like a lot of work. This was fun.
Would you mind? Actually, this is like super last minute, but would you mind showing how you built one tomorrow on UI Fridays?
I can show that. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I've never even tried to create a theme, and it would be really cool to learn about that. And if you're,
I started with an online tool more, and kind of bootstrapped it, and then once I had it kind of bootstrapped out, then I took it into the editor and made some tweaks, and then we can talk about all that. Yeah, that would be a fun.
Oh my god! Yay! You're the best.
That'd be good. And I can complain about Visual Studio and show you how bad the experience is over there. So just to give you like a gist of the difference between the two editors, Visual Studio is a Windows desktop application, and Visual Studio Code is an Electron-based application. Electron's web, so the styling for it is essentially CSS. The Visual Studio, like, there's no way to inspect the environment to find out what styles belong to what UI elements. So you're kind of like just shooting in the dark, trying to make these themes.
Trying to plug it.
Yeah. So here I'll show you one thing real quick before we go. Like,
yeah, Robert was saying that he will totally tune in. So what time? That's going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central. I don't know how to do the other time.
2 p.m. Eastern. Yeah. Be noon Pacific time.
Is it? Okay, thanks.
So let's see if I can screen share. Like, oh, I hate this so much because I just wanted it to work, and the Visual Studio Code one just worked. And I use Visual Studio more often than Visual Studio Code, and I'm stuck without.
You do? Tell me why, Ed. Tell me why.
The debugging experience and unit testing experience are much better in Visual Studio. So there's that. It does a little bit more hand-holding too. So I built a theme. This is actually my theme that I'm using here. This one's not bad. It's not too different actually than our Code It Live theme. But
I'm so excited.
If I go to themes, I'll show you the pain point here that I can't quite fix. And
Is that blurry for everybody else too? I'm gonna make my screen bigger, or you bigger. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
I pinged the VS team, and they also didn't know how to help me. That's never a good sign. So,
what were you trying to do?
So here's our Code It Live theme in Visual Studio, not Visual Studio Code, but Visual Studio proper.
Okay.
And if I pull up code, let me open a solution. It looks great so far, right? No problem here. We'll go ahead and load this guy up. And the code looks pretty good even. So I was happy until I got to this point. And then even Blazor components and stuff look really good. But watch when I hover over something to get the IntelliSense. Like, you can't read it. It's got this... I don't know where the values are coming from. And
really?
Some of them are like super bright.
Yeah.
And some of them are super dark. So no matter what I can find the yellow background, but no matter what I change that to, either you can't
because you have
text,
both white and
light text.
Yeah.
And there's no way for me to fix it. I just can't figure out where the values
You know how you
come
fixed
from.
it? You fixed it with a GIF. It rotates between like black and white.
I cannot find the settings for the life of me to fix it. And
How
I was like, hey,
insane!
VS
And they
team.
don't. The team doesn't know. That seems like something they would have to know.
I was like, how can I fix this? Do you know? Like, I know there's, there needs to be like some kind of tool, like Visual Studio Code. You can do. Can you still see Can you see VS Code?
Yes. I'm trying.
So,
I can see one of the VSs. I think it's code. Yeah.
So if you go into VS Code, you hit Control Shift P, and you say Developer Inspect Editor Tokens and Scopes, it will tell you where the theme is coming from, like right here. So it's got like an inspection tool built in.
Oh,
it tells you
but you're
right
saying
here what you need.
You're
to
saying
target
Visual
to style
Studio
it.
doesn't have this?
No, there's no tool for this. So you're kind of just like shooting in the dark, trying to figure out where this theme comes from. So if I go back here, let's see. We go to the theme file. I'm just ranting, by the way. This is the end of our show, just me complaining about Visual Studio.
I mean, like, standard.
It's taking forever. Why? It's trolling itself at this point. Like, I'm complaining about it, and it's gonna just hang and show you how terrible this experience is. Why did it open the same project? That was not me. Did not do that. Close solution. Open the theme file. Oh, I know what it is. I have that linked. So we'll go to the theme, VS Code theme, and here's the editor for it. And here's all the elements for the
Oh,
Visual
wow.
Studio, but there's like several hundred items like here. And I could search for it if I knew what it was called, but I don't know what it's called.
And there's no inspector type situation too.
No. Each one of these, look at this one has like probably 200 items in it, and that's just one of several groups. Let's do expand all.
I think the way that I would go about doing it is to go and find just a ridiculous theme that's really distinct. And like if they have like a distinct color on that text, and then see where they're plugging in that that color too. Because I mean, how else are you gonna?
It's one of these. It's one of these settings.
I guess you could just systematically go through them. Otherwise,
it's just one of these. I mean, I could just go through from top to bottom.
I thought it would be more of a documented thing. It's so strange that they don't know.
Yeah. They're somewhat organized here, so I haven't been able to find it. If you type in tooltip, which I thought it would be, it only gives you the background. And so
I wonder if it's linked with another.
And there's
like another
tooltips,
thing,
by the way. And none of these are the actual tooltip that I'm looking for. Here it is. Let's see if I do tip. It's one of these. I think this is screen tip text, screen tip background. Those are the only two values I could find that work. And there's multiple things because there's like 5 different colors of text. When you hover over something. See, this one, it's like, let's see if I can zoom again. Oh, come on, zoom. I lost my zoomer. There it goes. Like there's, this text is one color, this text is another color, and then there's some brackets in there that are a different color, and that's a different color, and then the curly braces are a different color, and I don't know where they're coming from. So there's like 5 things I'd have to narrow down just for that one.
Just to make sure it's, which is kind of a big deal because people use the IntelliSense a lot. But yeah, that's.
Oh, and
I cannot wait to dive into this more and learn about the tool that you use to like get started.
Hall of Mirrors. Yeah. So, I need to write a script that goes through every field and just change.
That just goes through everyone.
Tells
Yeah.
Me. Yeah.
Is that purple yet? Is that purple yet? Is that purple yet? Yeah, that would.
Yeah. Robert Tables has the best comment there. How about we only
Which one? Yeah, I saw that one. The VS Code theme tomorrow.
So there's an online tool for this. I'll show you, and then I'll show you what code it generates and what that code does.
Yeah, I agree.
That'll be fun.
We'll stick with VS Code, and then maybe we'll dabble if we've got time. But because
we can make.
I'm fine with anything. Yeah.
We can make you a light theme. We'll either do a light VS Code or we'll do like a Kendoka theme. I've been green lighted to call it the Kendoka theme and not the Progress Teller Kendo UI for.
Well, I'm really impressed that you asked for permission because I kind of just do things and you are so professional with your asking.
Yeah, I made sure I did not cross any legal boundaries to make this. So.
Yeah, Robert said there's going to be a butter gun theme or ponies or butter and ponies, something.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for the show today, Ed. It was wonderful.
Very welcome. And I will see you tomorrow, Alyssa. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
See you again.